Hi, thanks for checking out another one of our videos here. This is going to be maybe possibly a how to test and repair video on a Gallagher M1000. Pretty popular model. They don't make this model anymore, make all the parts for it still, but they sold this unit from about 2005 to about 2017 or 18, so it was around for a while. 12-13 year run with this particular model. It's a good unit. They come from time to time. They usually got a little age on them, wears them out, or lightning seem to be the two biggest things that get them. So we're gonna get into this thing and see what we can do for it. They've got this piece of strap on. I don't know what the hell this is on there for, but they must have made to carry it around or something. But we're gonna pull it off there, and we'll send it back with it. I don't know what they need it for, but we'll send it back. Gosh. All right, well, there's that. But if you'd like to subscribe to our channel, we'd be happy to have you as a subscriber. We've got 700 plus videos on YouTube. Like someone's been this before. They got Phillips screws in it versus the standard tamper-proof screws. And I don't know how old it is. The sticker's all wore off, but we can look at the circuit board inside and see if that tells us anything about how old is it, how old the board is, if the board's ever been replaced or not. Well, the board's a 2013, but I would have to say this unit's probably older than that. Got a newer capacitor in there, original transformer. Alright, let's start plugging in here. Usually over here on these older version boards, you'll see some burnt component over here. It all looks good. Let's plug it in and see what it does. Nothing. You see that terminal's all ate up. We'll have to replace that. It's all starting to arc real bad on the ground side. Either they got wrong kind of wire that's not mixing well with the gnats buzzing around here, or they got too big of a wire and they're just shoving it in there. It's not making a good connection. So just standard leftover electric fence wire works fine. You don't need nothing. You don't need a big gauge like 10 gauge wire. Just a 12 gauge, 14 gauge will work just fine. It doesn't come on at all. Maybe we'll be lucky and it's just a fuse, but that's usually not the case with these. Fuse is blown. It's all black and everything, but these take a silly. Let's take a half amp, half amp 250 volt fuse, kind of an oddball one. Not many Gallagher units take that fuse, so let's plug it in here. Plug it in here and see what it does. Maybe to shoot sparks, maybe to go to working. Let's plug it in, back away, turn the power strip on. Hey, clicking along. Sometimes they have to blow the fuse right away. So let's turn it off here. Let's unplug that wire again. Let's take this terminal connector off, pop that bolt out of there. Alright, need my little Dremel brush thing. And we'll clean all the crud out of there. Alright, let me go find a bolt for it. Alright, there's a new one. And comes a new little O-ring on it. Let's test the capacitor too while we're... It's like the capacitor's been replaced once before, but we'll test it anyways. Make sure it's good. Supposed to be 30 and it reads 30.1. Can't get much better than that. Now let's put the connector board back on the little connectors here. This little film on the front's starting to really wear out, starting to peel and come apart. And what we can do to kind of help that out is we'll put some good strap or like packing tape across there to keep it protect a little bit longer. Let's put a tester across there, make sure it's putting out right. Shows 7.9 there, which that number kind of varies depending on the version and how old it is. About a little over 8, so we're right in the ballpark of what that number reads there. It reads 7.8. And this is usually covered up. You usually don't see this. This board is used in another model that Gallagher didn't sell here in the States, and it had a ground voltage. It had a third terminal on here for ground reference, and it would tell you what voltage is on the ground side if you really cared about that. But Gallagher didn't have that feature on this unit, but they did share the same board. They just had another LCD number thing in there for that, but it's usually covered up with that sticker on here. Usually covers up that. You usually don't see that part of it. But that's what it was. Well, we're going to let this one run for a while. I'm going to go get a load and put it across there and put off to the side, make sure that there's not some kind of weird issue with this thing while the fuse blew. I mean, if it's just lightning, power surge, something like that, well, at least the fuse did its job, and now it's working. But if you'd like to subscribe to the channel, and usually a fuse doesn't fix these things. That's a really rare. You could have 100 of these things, all of them blown fuse, and you might have 1 or 2 that a fuse fixes the problem. The other 98 of them are usually something wrong with the board and builds a fuse as soon as you plug it back in. So we got lucky so far that the fuse is what was the problem with this one. Like I said, I will plug it, put a load on it, and put it off to the side, and make sure that the unit runs. We'll probably run for 24 hours with a load. That should tell us real quick if we're good to go or we've got problems still. So, alright, well, if you'd like to subscribe to our channel, we'd be happy for you to do that. But we're going to put a new terminal bolt, new fuse, a little labor and freight, and we'll be good to go. So, hopefully have a good day, and talk to you later.